much for watching this video with us. My name is Nina Curver, and I am the instructional facilitator in Mid-Del for Social Studies, Gifted and Talented, and Advanced Placement. And in this video, I'm just going to be sharing some important information about advanced placement coursework. The things I'm going to talk about in this video, I'm going to give just an overview of advanced placement and what it is. I will talk about the benefits of AP classes. I will talk about AP exams and what they mean. I'll mention some considerations that you and your students should discuss before deciding to enroll in AP coursework. I will discuss Mid-Del's expectations for AP students. And finally, I will talk about our distance learning AP coursework programs. So advanced placement courses are college level classes that are offered in high school. And they're intended to reflect what would be taught in introductory college courses. And so they're taking this class in high school with high school teachers, but they are college level courses. At the end of the year, at the end of the advanced placement course, students have the opportunity to sit for the AP exam, and that exam will measure how well they've mastered that college level work. AP exams are scored on a range of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest. Typically, a score of 3 or higher will earn a student college credit and the ability to kind of skip over those introductory college courses and move into sort of advanced work. Honors courses are meant to prepare students for advanced placement courses that they'll take in the future. For the most part, advanced courses are available to juniors and seniors. There's a couple of exceptions to that. And so if your student is a freshman or a sophomore, they may take honors classes that will help them to build up to the rigor of AP classes and also start to introduce the skills that they'll need to be successful in advanced placement. There are many, many benefits to taking AP courses, even beyond the ability to receive college credit. One of the things that is really beneficial about AP coursework is that AP classes tend to build students' skills and confidence. It can really help with time management. It teaches study skills that'll be necessary for students to be successful in college. And it really increases their ability to think creatively and to problem solve. Just taking advanced placement coursework can help students to get into college. The reason for this is because they really send the message that they are open to challenging themselves, that they're ready for rigorous coursework. The College Board, which is the organization that oversees advanced placement, did research, and what they found was that of the colleges that they talk to, so colleges that tend to be really selective and a little bit more difficult to get into, 85% of those schools reported that if a student has AP experience, that favorably impacts their admissions decisions. And so that could be a deciding factor when your student is applying to college as to whether or not they get in. Sometimes if they're sort of right on that edge and an admissions committee can see that they've had advanced placement experience, that they're willing to really challenge themselves, that will be the thing that'll push them over into getting admitted. Additionally, students that take advanced place courses and exams tend to have greater academic success in college and higher graduation rates than their peers that did not have AP experience. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Also, it can help students to save time and money, which is huge when you're talking about paying for college. Research that the College Board has done has shown that students who take AP courses and exams are more likely than their peers to complete their degree on time, which obviously saves money and time. Most colleges and universities across the nation will offer college credit, advanced placement, or both for qualifying AP scores. Additionally, advanced placement courses are available globally, so there are even some international universities that will accept AP credit. If you're interested in looking more at the sources where I pulled this information from, I do have them listed at the bottom of this slide. Also, towards the end of the video, I do have a link to an article that you can read if you're interested. Another benefit of advanced placement coursework is that it tends to be very engaging for our students that really love to learn. They do challenge students to work and participate at a higher level. They will explore topics more in depth than they would typically do in an on-level course. It does require a bigger time commitment outside of class, because students will have assignments, projects, readings, things like that, that they will need to do in addition to what they do in class. So a consideration for taking advanced placement coursework is that time commitment. Students should know that they will be expected to do a little bit more since these are college level courses. Additionally, there are really high expectations in an AP course for critical thinking, analysis, synthesis, and all of those other kind of higher levels of thinking. Typically, AP courses do require in-depth reading and writing. So, AP exams are administered by your student's school site, but those test dates are set worldwide. So across the entire world, students will sit for the same AP exam on the same day at the same time. These dates tend to fall the first 2 weeks in May. The exams are usually 2 to 3 hours long and combine multiple choice questions and then free response questions, which may be essays, problem solving, document based questions, oral responses, things like that. Some of the courses do require a portfolio or a project to be submitted. You'll see that for sure in art courses and things like that. There is a fee that is associated with AP exams. The fee for this academic year was $96 per exam. I don't know if it will be the same cost next year. If they increase, it's usually only by like $1. There is assistance available for students who have financial need. Oklahoma offers a price reduction for students that take multiple exams and also for students that qualify for free and reduced lunches. And so our students that qualify for free and reduced lunches will be able to have the fee reduced to $10 per test. And then students who take more than one test have a lower cost per test. We don't ever want money to be a reason that students would not take an AP class. We don't want that to be a barrier to our students to be able to take these tests. So if the cost of the exam is going to be an issue, please, please, please reach out to the principal at your child's school, the counselor. You can reach out to me. We're really determined for this to not be a huge barrier for our students and we can work something out. So again, there is a cost associated, but please don't let that be a barrier to your student having the ability to have this experience, because there are different ways that we can help to mitigate that cost. So when you look at students receiving college credit for AP coursework, every college and university is going to have its own policies regarding AP credit and placement. So there's not one set policy that all universities will follow. Typically, people kind of want to know what the policy is for different universities or colleges that their child is considering. And so I have included this link here. If you go to collegeboard.org/AP credit policy, you can search by individual university and it will explain what kind of AP credit they will offer, what their placement policies are, and things like that. Most of the universities in the area will provide college credit if a student scores a 3 or higher on their AP exam. But sometimes there's exceptions to that depending on major and some of those other things. So you may have a situation where your student wants to be a chemistry major, and the university that they go to requires that chemistry majors take all of their chemistry coursework at the university. And in that case, their policy may be that they will give elective credit for that score, um, other things like that. So, if you're interested in knowing what the policy is for individual universities that your student is considering, definitely go to that web page and kind of look up what the policies are, and that way you don't have any surprises at the end. So, AP exams are scored on a scale of 1 to 5, which is different than how students are scored in most other things. With this scale of 1 to 5, a 5 is the highest score that a student can receive, and a 1 is the lowest score. And so when you look at your child's AP scores, a 5 means that they're extremely well qualified. This is essentially stating that if they had taken this course in college, they would have been able to receive an A. A 4 indicates that your student is well qualified, and it's similar to getting an A minus, B plus, or a B in the comparable college course. A 3 means that the student is qualified in this course. It is similar to if a student was going to get a B minus or a C in the comparable college course. A 2 states that they're possibly qualified, and a 1 states that there is no recommendation. What I will say is that there are still benefits to AP coursework and AP testing, even if your student scores a 1 or a 2, and I'm going to talk about that more. So, the College Board did some additional research to try and find out what the benefit of AP coursework and AP exams are for students that receive a 1 or a 2. And what they found is that those students have better outcomes in college, even if they don't receive that college credit. And so this data on the screen can kind of show you. The blue column are AP students, and the gray column stands for students that have not taken advanced placement courses. And it goes through the different scores that they might make on the AP exam. And you can see that even with a score of 1 on an AP exam, those students are more likely to enroll in a 4-year college than their peers that did not take an AP exam. And those numbers are pretty significant all the way up. So do know that even if your student scores a 1 or 2 on the AP exam, it doesn't mean that it doesn't impact their college careers. Additionally, students who take AP exams tend to do better in their introductory college courses than their peers that did not. And so this data shows you students that received a 2 in their AP class, um, compared to students in the same classes that didn't take an AP class. And so the number on bottom in parentheses is the general GPA for non-AP students in their introductory level college course. And then the top number is the percentage, or the amount of increase that those students have in their grades. And that is students that got a 2 on an AP exam. So say that your student takes AP calculus and gets a 2, um, rather than getting a 2.74 in that class, they would be more likely to get around a 3 point, which would be a B. So again, they may not receive the college credit, but they will still do better often in their college course. The other benefit to taking AP exams, even if they do not receive a quote unquote, passing score, is that students who are underclassmen, if they're still planning on taking advanced placement courses the following year and taking those advanced placement tests, typically they are more likely to get a higher score on those subsequent exams. And so, if you have a sophomore taking maybe AP World History, they may get a two um, or a one on that AP exam as a sophomore. But then if they take a subsequent exam the following year, they're more likely to get up to a three or higher. And so twos can often be sort of the doorway into getting threes later in their high school career. If you're interested in reading the research that I pulled that data from, this QR code will take you to the article published by the College Board who did the research, and it goes a lot more in depth than what I've just talked about for time purposes. So if you're interested, again, in reading this research for yourself, this QR code should take you there. I'm going to leave it up for just a couple more seconds so that you can have a chance to go ahead and scan that in case you want to read this later. Also, if you're interested in reading it and you don't have the ability to scan that QR code right now, if you will shoot me an email, I'd be happy to forward that research to you. Another benefit of taking AP courses is that it does add weight to your child's GPA. And so if you look at honors courses, first of all, a student that takes an honors course and receives a C or higher has zero point 0.5 added to the value of their GPA for that class. And so if a student were going to receive a B in that course, which would factor into their GPA as a 3 point, they would get that 0.5 added and it would factor into their GPA as a 3.5. So there is a benefit for honors courses in terms of adding weight to the GPA. For AP courses, students actually have the opportunity to increase their GPA for that class by an entire point. And so students get 0.5 added just for taking the class, just for being a part of the class, earning a grade of C or higher, even if they don't sit for the test. Students, however, that sit for the test get an additional 0.5 added. So ultimately, they could get an entire point added, meaning that a student that got a B in an AP course, if they sat for the exam and also scored a C or higher in the course, that would essentially factor into their GPA as if they earned an A in the course. And so, it's a recognition that these courses are more difficult and more rigorous. And so, they can be beneficial for a GPA. Also, since these courses are more rigorous, we don't want students to avoid taking them because they're worried that they may not make an A in the course. And by kind of adjusting the weight of their GPA in this way, it can give them a little bit of padding room not to stress. So these are questions that students and parents kind of tend to have, or things that they'd like more information about before deciding to take an AP class. One question that we see come up pretty frequently is how many AP courses should a student enroll in? And what I will tell you is that that is 100% up to you and your student. Some of the things that I would consider when deciding how many AP courses for my student to take, I have a ninth grade student this year, is, you know, time commitment. Taking 5 AP classes is a huge time commitment. There's going to be a really large amount of, homework and outside of school time taken for those things. And so that's something that I would consider. I would think about what courses your student is most interested in. My son, Jonathan, he loves history, he loves science. He's not a huge fan of math or English. And so, I would really, when we're talking about enrollment for him, we talk about, the fact that maybe he should take AP courses in science and history because he's interested in those things, and do on level for the other courses. So it really depends on your student, on what their interest level is, and the amount of time outside of school that they can manage. You really do need to look at the other time commitments that your student has. So, does your child have, an after school job? Do they participate in sports or other extracurricular activities? Are they really um, involved in community events, things like that? My son is in band, and that takes quite a bit of time up. And so that's a consideration there. You want to make sure that students aren't so overcommitted that they get, just completely overwhelmed and stressed. Like I said, you want to look at the classes and subjects that your students enjoy the most, and also the subjects that they tend to do well in. That can often, give them a richer AP experience. You might look at the college majors that your student is considering, um, and kind of plan their AP coursework based on that, or the career paths that they're considering. You may think about, taking AP classes that are well suited to future careers. On the other hand, I have seen students decide that maybe they want to take some AP coursework for the classes that they don't love as much because they, would be interested in kind of getting some of that college credit out of the way if they're successful. So all of these things are just things that, you really need to sit down and discuss with your child. And these are decisions that you should come to together. There are definitely kiddos out there that are completely able to take 5 AP classes at a time and do it successfully without, completely burning themselves out. And there's some kiddos out there that really need to just focus on taking one at a time. So those are all kind of considerations that you would think about when deciding which AP coursework your kiddo is going to enroll in and how many AP courses your kiddo is going to enroll in. I mentioned earlier that AP classes are typically a lot more difficult than our on level classes, or at least more rigorous with a higher level of thought. Um, we do offer all kinds of supports for our AP students, and so there may be study sessions before or after school. There may be Saturday study sessions, writing workshops, skills practice. The College Board provides some additional support as well. They can find extra tutorials and videos that are posted online. Additional reading materials could be made available. Your student will have an opportunity to take a mock or practice AP exam to kind of get a feel for what that exam is like. We really want to make sure that your students are learning to advocate for themselves. So if they need extra help, they should ask for it. One of the huge benefits of AP courses, in my opinion, is that they're taking the college level work while they still have the high school level support. And so a student in a college class at college isn't going to have the same types of support that they'll have in the high school setting. But um, the student really needs to be able to advocate and ask for help when they need it and ask for those additional supports when they need them. This is sort of what we expect from our AP students in Mid-Del. We don't expect for AP courses to be easy or come naturally for all students, but we do expect that all students in AP classes will come prepared to work hard and take advantage of those supports that I mentioned in order to be successful. And so if you're wondering, how do I know if my kid is an AP student? What I'll tell you is that AP can really be for all students, but they need to be ready. And so you don't have to have a straight A student. Students don't need to be at the top of their class to be an advanced placement student, But you want to make sure that they are prepared for the increased rigor and the increased amount of time spent out of school doing homework and studying. Students really need to want to be in that course. One of the things that kind of we see over and over is that students who don't want to be taking AP or they don't want to be taking a specific AP course, but they've kind of been forced to, aren't as successful because there is that extra time commitment, that extra level of thought. But if your student is super eager, a really hard worker, then AP would definitely be a great fit for them. Another thing to keep in mind that's kind of a shift from the way we're used to thinking is that the focus of AP classes is actually on the learning process. It's supposed to be challenging, and that's okay. Research shows that kids that are taught to struggle and not completely shut down are more successful in college and in life. And so you want to support your student, but it's okay for them to struggle in the course. That's part of the benefit of the entire process. And so rather than focusing solely on a grade or a score of the AP exam, really just sort of understanding that the benefit to AP in a lot of ways is that struggle and that challenge. And it really builds resilience in students, which again extends into college and future. So, one thing that we started this year that we're going to kind of continue on is offering some of our AP courses as distance courses. Basically, because of staffing and budgetary constraints, we haven't always been able to offer the same AP coursework at all three sites. It's really just always depended on the number of student requests and staffing, having somebody um, to teach the course. And so, what we would see in the past is that students at one high school may have the ability to take AP chemistry while students at another high school did not because it wasn't being offered at that school. Or another thing that we would see is that we would have a handful of students at all three high schools that wanted an AP course, but it wasn't enough to make a class at any of the three sites. And so, to increase the equity of our offerings across the district, this year we piloted offering a few AP courses as distance learning courses, meaning that that class would be offered in person at one site, but students from the other two high schools could enroll in the course and participate in it during the school day synchronously but virtually. And so the three classes we piloted with this year um, are AP Chemistry, AP Government, and AP Psychology. And so we had each of those courses were offered in person at one of our high school sites, but students from the other two sites could basically remote into that class and still take the class live, just not face to face in person. Since AP Chemistry is a science class and has labs associated with it, we have been able to provide transportation this year to drive our students um, from the high school that they're attending to the high school that's offering the lab, and that's worked out really well for us. Um, this year, as we're kind of planning for next year, we are looking at the possibility of expanding that to some additional coursework. And it's kind of just based on the needs of our students, but we will likely offer one or two more classes as distance classes for the 2022-23 school year. It's hard for us to be able to say today exactly which courses will be offered that way because we don't know what requests look like. We don't necessarily know what staffing is going to look like, things like that. So do just know that if your student is enrolling in AP coursework, there is a possibility that rather than being offered at their site, they will be taking it as a distance course. If you have any additional questions about that, again, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to have my contact information at the end of this video. But you can also reach out to your child's grade level principal or their counselor, and we can definitely get you more information about that. It's been a really great way for our students to be able to enroll in and participate in AP classes that they wouldn't get an opportunity to take otherwise. Okay, if you guys wouldn't mind, either this link or this QR code will take you to a Google form. And if you will fill out that form, it will provide us with your sign-in information showing that you were here with us watching this video, sitting through me talking. So you can either scan the QR code or you can go to this website, which is bit.ly/APPI22. That is an I, not a one. And so it essentially stands for AP Parent Information 22. So again, you can either scan the QR code or go to that web address, and a Google form should pop up, and it's just going to ask for your name, your student's name, their grade, and their school site. And that just kind of helps us get an idea of who joined us to watch this video and which parents are sort of up to date on their information as we go into enrollment season. Again, I'm going to leave this up here for just a couple more seconds to give you a chance to either scan or jot down that web address. Again, if for some reason you aren't able to do either of those things right at this minute, feel free to shoot me an email and I will make sure that that sign-in makes its way to you. All right, thank you so much for watching this video and getting this kind of information about AP programs in Mid-Del. If you have additional questions, please reach out. You can reach out to your student's counselor, your student's grade level assistant principal, or you can always contact me. Again, my name is Nina Curver, and my role for the district is that I am the instructional facilitator for social studies, gifted and talented, and advanced placement coursework. My email address is ncurver@mid-del.net, and you can reach me by phone at 737-4461. And I will be happy to get back to you as quickly as I can. Again, thanks for joining us, and please reach out if you have any further questions. Thank you so much.